Ladies and gentlemen, justice. Is served. Okay, welcome everybody. We're here at another exciting episode of Justice is Served. And I have my more than competent assistant, Jen, with me here today, who's going to keep me in line if that's possible. Today's recipe is Convict chicken with chive sauce. And the ingredients in that particular thing are chicken breasts. Jen, if you'd hand me those. Okay. Here we have fresh chicken breasts. That'll be one of the ingredients that's right there. We have sour cream, Grey Poupon mustard. We have a chicken stock plus chopped up shallots, and then we're going to mince some chives here in a little bit, and then we also need to have white wine. Now, I alluded to this earlier that this particular wine was a very, very good vintage. I think it finished about 15 minutes ago. We pre-tested it, and it did work quite well, but it's called the Naked Grape Wine. Now, it's from Southern California, so, hey, you want to go down there and check it out? Anybody? Put it on YouTube, bring it back to me. One thing about wine is, when you're cooking, here's the biggest thing about cooking, is you want to share a meal with a friend. I mean, you want to sit down, have a good meal, have some conversation. You talk about things that you didn't talk about before, because you haven't seen that person. America lost the art of conversation, but you can always do that around a meal, and you can switch to different people's houses. Now, as in every session of When Justice is Served, we always have a little tip of the day. And the tip of the day today is if you have a really, really bad cough, overdose on laxatives, and then you'll be afraid to cough, is the key thing there. We also have a mondegreen, which we've described before, but a mondegreen is a butchered song lyric. And when I was growing up, I always tell them I was in a tractor, had the radio going, so my hearing wasn't too good, so what words that I thought I heard were not the words that I actually sang the song. Now, would you help me, Jen? You remember the old song, Juice Newton, Just Call Me Angel in the Morning?
Oh, okay.
Right? And then what I used to sing is, you know, it was just brush my cheek before you leave me, so sing with me here. Just call me angel of the morning, angel. Just brush my teeth before you leave me, baby. I used to sing that to my girlfriends, and I didn't have many, I can tell you that right now. Okay, now what we're going to do here is we're going to take the chicken breast. Now you'll notice these are exceptionally thick chicken breasts. So what we can do is we can thin them down a little bit by cutting, yeah, these are free-range chickens. Okay, now free-range chickens, that means there's no brand. They come and go as they please. Just don't get them down by the town sewer or anything like that. And when grasshoppers are in season, chicken tastes better. Okay, now I'm going to slice these in half. We're going to make them. Thank you, Jen. Appreciate that. You always save me. Okay, now what we're going to do here is we're going to take some wax paper, place over the chicken breasts, and then we're going to pound them down with a mallet. That's the guy I need sitting right over there. You guys can't leave till we're done because you got to taste this. Okay, now we're going to pound those down. And we want them flat. Now this is a quick dish, so you can sit around, have conversation and libations with your friends. Okay, we're going to take that piece of plastic off. We'll get rid of it. Thank you, Jen. We're going to flip them over and pound them from the other side. Another piece of plastic paper. We always call this wax paper when I was growing up. Okay, now they're dead. We know that for a fact. Now, give me the miracle spice over there. The miracle. This is the stuff friends of mine down in Mississippi got. They make it. They gave me the recipe. I cannot give anybody the recipe, but I can make it for anybody that wants it. It goes good on anything, and I mean anything. Okay, now, in just a little bit, those are sitting there just letting a little spice go in. We're going to make our sauce. the creamy chive sauce. Okay, we take sour cream. Okay, we're going to put that in the bowl right there just like that. Then we need Dijon mustard. Ooh, that spoon's not going to fit in the Dijon mustard. All right, now, this is what you do in anything. You have to be able to improvise. Okay, anybody been stopped by the cops? You improvise, you lied, or you pulled something. So we'll just use the other end of the spoon. We'll put the Dijon mustard right in there just like that. Okay. Now, if you'd give me the cloth so I can wipe the spoon off. If we weren't on TV, I'd have just licked it and probably got away with it. Okay, now. Now we'll add our shallots. About like that. All right. And then we need our chicken broth, which we'll pour the chicken broth in there just like that. Now this is going to get kind of soupy looking. And it's going to look a little bit curdled because you're putting cold ingredients together. Okay, we want to stir that together like that. Then, white wine. How much did it call for?
I don't know.
Take a guess.
Oh.
Okay. How's that? We're good enough?
Yeah.
Good enough? All right. I like that. You always smell the cork. I like that. So we're just going to stir that up a little bit. Okay, now another thing we want, we're going to move our chicken up here just a little bit. And then put the key ingredients, the chive. Right, we have a child-proof chive thing here. I always like chives. I make these a lot at home. May I have the cloth, please? I grow my own chives at home when the weather permits and Mother Nature likes me. I don't think you can get enough chives in any dish. What they're doing, they add a fantastic flavor, and if they're al dente, they got a good texture. So what we're going to do is just chop them up here. Just like that. All right. Now, we're going to throw those all right in the sauce. You know, and I like a few more chives, so we got a few of them. They all died for a reason. We'd hate them to die for no but good reason. So we're going to put them in here. Because again, they're going to make a flavor. When we get done with this dish, this sauce is going to reduce to where it's really creamy. Because we're going to basically cook the water out of it. And it'll cook the alcohol out of the wine to where you'll just have your flavor. So if you have anyone that has any allergies or anything like that, like an allergy to wine, I don't have an allergy to wine, I have an affliction for it. Here's one thing about wine. Everyone well, I can't say everyone likes wine, but in my household, the chief winer likes wine. And in choosing a wine, what you want to do is take whatever taste that you have. Me, I like basically a dry red, not too dry to where it makes your tongue go in little curly cues, but I want something with flavor and body. Now when you pour this in a glass, if I had one, you swirl the glass, you watch the sheen come down, you smell the bouquet, etc. Here's the hard thing is when you're drinking wine, most people are going like that, they don't have time to do that. Thin top glasses for Chardonnays or a white wine because the bouquet is not that much. Big top glasses for the red wines because you want the bouquet and you want all the rest of that. Plus, if you got somebody drinking Chardonnay in a tall, thin glass, you get more in a short, fat glass than they get, and they don't figure that kind of stuff out. Now, it just depends on what you want. Everybody says white wine with fish, red wine with meat, or white wine. For me, wine with eggs is good. It doesn't make a bit of difference. You have to decide what you like. We have a lot of excellent wineries in Montana, And they're mainly in the western part of the state. We do have one north of here, more of the fruit wines, but they're very, very good fruit wines. So what you want to do is decide what taste you want, find it. Now, one thing here about Reese and Ray's is they've got an excellent wine aisle over there, but there's cameras in it because when everybody else is shopping, I'm in the wine aisle. I was looking for cat litter, and I couldn't find it in the wine aisle, but I found some really, really good deals on wine. Now, another thing that we're going to do here, and I'm trying to figure this out because we've had a lot of requests from people, is we're going to fry this chicken in extra virgin olive oil. You ever hear everybody say EVO? All right, extra virgin olive oil. Now, they wanted me to explain just exactly what that was, and being it's a family show, I cannot. But I would like to be on the board that dreamt up that name and try to figure out what the thought process was behind that, because whatever those guys were on, possibly this, I want some. Okay, now we're going to retire back to the kitchen. We're going to fire this thing up and make it work. All right, bring a little more sour cream. Yeah, bring that too. And then we're going to need this.
Man of many
Hey, you got to try this, man. This is kill. You just missed one of the better ones. Fish taco. How was your fish taco?
Good. When I got to eat of it.
What, somebody else take it?
No, it's sitting back there.
Oh, okay. Oh, we didn't bring the EVO.
Oh, huh?
Hold it, Larry. Joe, hand me the EVO.
The extra or
Just I do have an idea, but okay, now we're back here at the stove again, which is the place that we like to be the best. And we have our EVO. We're going to heat up our skillet. All right. Now, EVO is good for you. I always like to have enough in there because I want a good brown crisp on everything. Now, I want that to get kind of good and warmed up. And a lot of times, you know, when you see your oil in the middle of it, it'll start to sheen on the pan. See how that sheen has started there? And usually when I put my chicken in, I want it to sizzle. Remember what that mondegreen was?
Just call me.
Just brush my teeth before you. It's kind of catchy, isn't it? You're going to be singing that the rest of the day. And anytime you hear that,
I'll remember it.
you're going to remember it. All right. All right, now we're going. What we should do is just take that one apart, just like that. That was a double half gainer, which in the Olympic scale would have got a 3 from the American judge, probably a 6 from a Russian. All right. There you go. Thank you. What I'm going to do is separate those. Ah, look at that. Look at how those are sizzling up. Oh yeah, I think we probably want to indoctrinate. Go ahead, be my guest. Don't be a conscientious objector. Get it on there.
So do you use the other side?
Yeah, use the other side and then just sit there and go like that. Ah, now you're talking. Oop, that's a little strong on that one.
Yeah.
Not a problem. Not a problem. There you go. You got it? All right. Okay, look at how that's cooking. See how those edges are getting white? Now, we don't want to cook this completely through. So what we're going to do here in just a little bit, we'll turn them and we'll get them partially cooked because then we're going to put our sauce in here, get it going good. We'll take these off and just put them in a pan, keep them warm back here. And then when our sauce starts to reduce, we're going to throw them into our sauce. Oh, yeah. Now you can see the spices cooked right into that. Ah. Smell that.
This spice is really good.
It is. I mean, these guys down there, they perfected it. And what I always like about going down south is whenever you have a meal, there's never just a couple of people. If they have friends that come and then someone brings one of their dishes with them, and it just, one thing complements the other, and it gets all the way to the dessert. Everything is a presentation, everything is a social event, everything is good, but everything is simple and easy to fix. We've got some lifelong friendships down there. Okay, now Jennifer, when I start to make the sauce, I'm going to take these off and put them in the pan. What I'm going to ask you to do, go get a knife, and we'll cut this in chunks, so when we go to serve it, we can sit there and give everybody pieces. Okay? Okay? Again, you want to pound these down to where they're kind of thin so they cook quick, because the flavor of the sauce, and when you put that in that sauce, I mean, it's going to meld just fantastic. And I like a little brown, like you can see right in here and right there. I like that brown because it gives it a flavor. Some will cook a little quicker than others, and if they do, go ahead and take that. Like that one's thinner, and it's split, so you got a heat transfer. The same with that one right there. These are a little thicker, so we're going to give them just a little more time. Again, we don't want it completely done here, because it's going to simmer in the sauce just a little bit. I like that flame. You like that? You can tell the difference with northern cooks. You know, southern cooks, they're used to that flame going up. It gives it a lot of, you know, technical thing, kind of like the guy in the movie that does all the fancy stuff. You can always tell a northern cook, because he doesn't have any hair in his arms from it getting burnt off from the flame, and you can always tell a southern cook, he doesn't have any hair in his arms because he's always checking to see if his knife's sharp. What are you looking at? Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to take that off, just like that. Okay, then, Jennifer, you're going to take that. I'll get my sauce. Now, we're going to pour the sauce right in the pan, just like this. See that? Yeah, cut them into pieces. There's kind of good serving pieces. All right, now we're sitting here letting our sauce. Now it's going to cook. It's going to reduce. And you want to scrape the bottom of the pan. You want the grumps. The grumps give it flavor. And like I say, we're cooking out the liquid part of it. Now you can see the pieces of the shallots. You've got the chives. So you're going to get kind of a double oniony type thing. Chives, you know, they kind of got a life of their own and a taste that I like it. We use them on baked potatoes. I put chives in my eggs, my omelets, on salads for flavor. Perfect, yep. Okay, now we see how that's coming along right there? It's thickening up. Okay, we'll turn the heat down a little bit on that. And we just want that to reduce. You can see it used to be up here. It's down already. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit of that out here. Let that cool off a minute. Take my finger. All right, I might add a little more sour cream in there. And out of nowhere, in the magic to television, the sour cream just showed up. Ah. I like to play when I'm doing this. Jennifer, we might need just a little more wine.
Okay.
Go ahead and just set that back there. And then our tin pan, that long tin pan, we're going to bring it back too. Okay, you see how that's thickening? We'll get the sour cream, it'll dissolve. And it's reducing, that's what we want. Those flavors are melding in there. Okay. There. Oh yeah. That's going to be fantastic. There you go. Thank you. Okay, we'll let that reduce. It'll take a couple minutes if you want to just come back. Ah. We'll put just a little flour in here just to thicken it up some. Not much. Oop. Get my whisk. Ah. Okay, now we're going to put our chicken back in. Okay, now we're sitting here. We're starting to get reduced and our sauce is thickening up. So what we want to do is we want to put our chicken back in. And what we're going to do, we cut it in bite-sized pieces. Now you can either leave it in the full-size breast or the bite-sized pieces. You can serve this over pasta, any kind of a noodle that you want, mashed potatoes. Now again, we didn't cook the chicken completely before because we want it to be in this sauce finishing off right here. Now, a lot of times I'll cook dishes like this if I'm going in the mountains on an elk hunt with the horses, and I'll Ziploc it, or better, I vacuum seal it with whatever I'm going to cook. And then when we get to camp, all you have to do is boil water, drop your individual packages in there, and then everyone has a gourmet meal at 10,000 feet. And it always helps because the cook doesn't have to do the dishes or take care of the horses. Okay, we're done. We're just going to let that simmer just a minute. And I think what we'll do is put that in that pan. Want to try one of these, Larry? That back here where nobody else can get one?
Sticky fingers.
Stick. Oh yeah, you have that $15,000 camera. Try that. See if you like it. If you don't, it's all right.
Really good.
Okay, I'm going to need that spoon.
The little one?
Mm-hmm. And just throw those over there. Okay, bring our pan. Just set it right there. Okay, stand back. Ah. And it's in the sauce, ready to serve. All right, everybody, through the magic of television and back in the kitchen, we've got it now. We put it in here. We cut these things in chunks so that they're easily served because we're going to give some out here to the crowd. You can leave it in the full breast form. You can serve this over rice, noodles, mashed potatoes, whatever you want. So now what we're going to do is we're going to pick some people out of the audience, and I see one back there right now. Young lady, you step right up here. And we would like to have you try this. This is chicken in chive sauce.
Looks very good.
Now be honest.
Very good.
Very good. What, would you like anything different in there, different flavor, anything like that?
Nope, I think it tastes perfect.
Okay. Great. Fantastic. So my next person, come right on up here. Beg pardon?
I'm going to be victimized.
No, you won't be victimized. That was just a little play on words. It's a family show. Okay, Jen, you've been such an astute helper here. A little bit of the sauce. Step right on up here, you guys. Come over here, quick. All right, now, we've had a bunch of women try this. We're going to let the men try it. Try that out there. Come right on around here, too. We'll let you try that. You got to look at the cameras here. Come on. All right, Danielle, that's your name, Danielle? Didn't I used to change your diapers, Danielle? Small town, isn't it? That's good. Want some more? Okay, we need other people. Come on up to test it right over there. Those two walking right in there right now. Step right on over here. Right on over here. Come on. What? You just come by yourself then. Let her go. Right now. I don't know. Everybody out there, is this a thumbs up or a thumbs down? Everybody said it's a thumbs up. Doris, you know what that means. Hey, this is a keeper. All right.